Yeah.
Cheers to making it through the Miami Grand Prix.
It's a long night.
It was like they were airing that dirty laundry on the radio.
I think it's pretty evident that Papaya now has to take sides.
See, okay, all the rumor mills are saying he's out in Imoga.
For a driver that's so
Very
consistently
true.
on the podium, I don't see him as a threat.
My fail was the rain that never came.
Yeah.
Cheers to making it through the Miami Grand Prix.
It's a long night.
Yes, welcome back, rookies. We are literally coming to you the morning after the Miami Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still in our night clothes. That's how early we're recording this.
There's no point explaining it. I'm still half asleep essentially.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe you're lucky. Maybe you live in America or UK or somewhere. We live in India, and the
Mhm.
race was really late for us, 1:30 to 3 a.m. So
It's long.
yeah, and I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely thought I wouldn't like stay awake. I thought,
Really?
yeah, I thought I'll see the first 5 minutes and I'll be gone. But kudos to the race; it was amazing.
Dude, there was not a moment of like lull.
Yeah,
It was everything was just like a battle after a battle
Yes.
after a battle.
So many good ones.
Cool it down, give me 5 minutes to breathe, baby. But no, these guys want to just keep going at it and keep going at it. Oh my god, even when there was actually no battle happening, there were inter-team battles happening.
Yes, we will get into that. But let's start with the sprint race because this was a sprint weekend.
Honestly, the sprint kind of like, since the quality of the sprint itself that I saw, I felt like it was a bit cursed, the sprint itself.
Oh, because of the rain?
Well, during the quali, 4.5 minutes, which is essentially the last lap that everyone would do, was cut out because of a
Lemon.
crash.
Yeah.
Now, the same thing happens again. While the sprint is happening, there's like pelting rain, like, people are making mistakes, and it just felt like FP2 only. It didn't really feel like I was watching a sprint.
But I mean, as a Hamilton fan, it must have been good to see him back up there on the podium. Maybe this whole year.
Yeah, this whole year, I'm just gonna watch Hamilton during the sprint because during the race he's a different animal. But yeah,
That
it was really good to watch him back on the podium. But there's no real podium. That's the problem.
Well, imaginary podium.
That so in my head is always on a pedestal, but that's not how it works.
Yeah, but I didn't know this while watching the race, of course, but later the radio messages came out.
Right.
And it was his decision to go on the softs. And he was the one who decided, like, we need to pit now and undercut.
Oh, yeah. The undercut was definitely his call. Kudos to the Ferrari pit team that did it within 2 seconds, which is like a great record to have.
That's the only good thing they've done. Like every race, they only do like these crazy pit stops.
They do mad pit stops, but they're like, the pit team is killing it. Specifically for Hamilton, the pit team is killing it.
Maybe it's in his contract. Fine, I will lose, but at least give me a good
pit.
But yeah, so apparently they were going to put him on mediums. And there are radio messages where he is like, no, softs, man, softs.
Yeah.
He decided his own strategy and it worked out for him.
Well, it would have worked out for him last night also. See, there was a lot happening. There was a lot happening with that team yesterday. And they have a lot of shit to answer and deal with.
The Ferrari, I mean, it felt like, you know how you tell a couple, like, keep your relationship troubles in the bedroom? It was
keep
like
it in the garage, for fuck's sake.
It was like they were airing that dirty laundry on the radio.
And the irony that Hamilton has to ask Adami, should I let Sainz pass as well? Like, bro, are you feeling that second child syndrome right now? Like
sarcasm at its finest.
Oof.
He said something like, sip your tea while you're at it or something.
Yeah, why don't you have a cup of tea while you're at it?
His British really came out.
Yeah.
He's a cup of tea.
I found him just a little too sassy last time. He was like claws out.
Yeah, and like it felt very tense because Leclerc and Hamilton were going at it with like against each other. And at the end of the day, what are you fighting for? A P7?
Can I be more honest?
Yeah.
Neither of them got anywhere with it. I'll be faster, let me ahead. 3 laps later, he's at the same pace as the other one. I'll be faster, let me back ahead. 3 laps later, back ahead at the same pace.
Yeah.
Over 10 laps, Hamilton gained 1.5 seconds on Kimi.
Yeah.
Leclerc was at the same pace after 3 laps. He was on the exact same rise. Had they done this like maybe, I don't know.
Right in the beginning.
At like lap 30 or like even before lap 30, had they executed the switch properly? Yeah, maybe.
But see, I love Hamilton, but it's not like just because you've come out on mediums, but everyone's on hard, they're going to just like clear the path for you. So to expect like them to take a little bit of time before making this decision.
But you do know that this is not just like on Hamilton and Leclerc, right? Leclerc was told that they're like switching positions before Hamilton was even asked.
Oh, when he came
back to saying like, okay, you know what, he's not gaining time, let me go. Leclerc was told, yeah, we switched positions this lap before they even asked Hamilton, which is why there was like a whole confusion on the screen of, oh, what the hell is happening? Why is Hamilton not letting him ahead? Hamilton wasn't told to let him ahead at that point. Like, bro, you tell him, he'll do it. And he did it. Right when they were into that conversation and they started playing Leclerc's radio message out loud, it was the turn Hamilton let him ahead. It was like, bro, you guys are playing a delayed game and it's just not working.
Yeah, I was Hamilton's wanting to get ahead of Leclerc. I feel like they waited too long for it to be effective, and then eventually doing it, it just created a bigger mess.
Yeah, I agree.
So I feel like this is a message for all the teams who have no first driver. Just decide and go for it. Like, the more time you waste dilly-dallying, the effect is like redundant.
Speaking of no first driver, I think it's pretty evident that Papaya now has to take sides.
Yep. I mean,
they don't have an option. I'm saying this with a heavy heart, in fact, because I had aspirations for the kid this race. But yeah, they're gonna have to favor Oscar if he's gonna be racing like that. Damn.
Yeah, he is the first McLaren driver since, I don't even know, I forgot the
97.
Number. Wow, since 27 years to have won 3 consecutive races.
Yeah. Not to mention, this is McLaren's first 1-2 finish since 2007.
Really? They didn't do that last year? Oh.
This is the first time since Raikkonen and Alonso in 2007. And this is just after Lewis switched to Mercedes from McLaren.
Insane.
He's had some shit luck on Lewis. When he switches teams, they suddenly like, we'll do better. Move on. Like, bro, but you're really doing way too much better than.
No, but Piastri is just on a different level right now.
Yep.
Like, you know that like very calm expression of his, like the way he's just like ruthless on track but so calm away from it. It's making me really like him.
Yeah, he's let's just say he's acting very, very proper with himself right now, and he's not letting anything get to him. He's not giving people a chance to get at him either or get into his head saying, oh, you may have done this wrong or that wrong. Nothing. That's like, bro, you're good. You keep doing what you're doing. That's all that people are saying to him right now.
Doing really
even a Max is like,
praising him,
he's like, okay, cool, bro. I can't compete with you right now.
Did you see after he won that little dance he did?
Yeah.
To do over? And then he like, forget about it.
Never mind. This ain't me. I'm just gonna try again.
Oh, it was so cute though.
Like, he is getting a little cocky. I like it. I think he needs it too, because it's gonna give him that little bit of an air that he needs. And yesterday's race proved it. Like, you take P1, then you take a nice big ass gap, and just,
my God. By the end of it, Russell was 30 seconds behind both the McLaren.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
spoken about Russell creating gaps way too much. I honestly don't want to get back into it. Kudos, you kept your P3, and that's all I'm going to say about Russell.
Russell's just getting podium from nowhere. Like,
it's more than that. I think we've spoken about this before also. It's more than that. It's okay, there is a certain amount of skill required for you to keep your spot. Now I'm going to contradict myself and speak about this. But so like last night when he pit trying to undercut Max,
Verstappen,
right?
Yeah.
And it worked for him because he came out ahead of Max.
Yeah. Even with a very slow pit stop.
Yeah, yeah. It was under the virtual safety car, but
Mm.
he still managed to come out ahead of Max.
Yeah.
Now I think that was his only saving grace.
Mm.
Was he behind Max? He wouldn't even bother to go for it. Like the
Yeah.
only time I've actually seen him go for it was last year's last race when he was battling Hamilton. It was the only time he's really trying to push for his spot, and then finally Hamilton took him. But
Yeah.
I don't see him as a threat. You know, that's the problem. For a driver that's so consistently
true.
on the podium, I don't see him as a threat. I see Kimi more as a threat,
That's
and
true.
like, I think that's kind of missing
Yeah.
from a top 3 driver.
Do you think it's because, again, going back to that name of that episode,
Mhm.
whatever, finding number one, what was that? Something like that bizarre. Like, do you think that responsibility of being the lead driver
Mhm.
after so many years, like he feels like, okay, if I've gotten this spot, let me
Yeah.
just hold on to it without trying to chase, which I don't think is a good behavior to
Strategy,
have.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
not. I
but
agree.
it could be like he's just trying to, save his seat at this moment, which is what has gotten him playing it safe.
See, but we've seen this kind of racing from him for as long as we can
Hmm.
remember. This is George's racing style. He
Hmm.
he tends to find a spot onto the
Very
track and
yeah.
then clear it up for himself where he's not gonna have anyone behind him. He's not gonna have anyone clear of him ahead because he
Yeah.
doesn't want dirty air.
Yeah.
Doesn't like driving in it. And like I get that mentality, but then at that point, if nobody's able to overtake you either, you're essentially creating a dividend race then.
Yeah, he's on his own race.
Yeah, he's essentially on his own race. He's not going for fastest laps. He's not going for anything. He's just going for I am here. I stay here.
Yeah.
That's it. And
He's
that's
not
all he's
pushing
trying to
his
do.
car.
He's
his
not
own.
pushing anything.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see.
And now that makes me believe one more thing is, where's the hunger?
Mm.
You want to be first driver. First drivers need a hunger to win.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why Lewis was their first driver, because he even today has a hunger for it. Like
It's
he's
just
still
sad.
chasing his eighth, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but it's just sad that he's having to battle a Williams. Like I feel like as a Ferrari girl, seeing yesterday the two Ferraris like having to battle the Williams, I was like, I'm happy for Sainz.
Yeah.
I'm happy that he's done what he's done to the team.
Mhm.
What the hell is going on? Are we a mid-level midfield team now?
Not really. Okay, first let's clear up one point. We are definitely not a midfield team. We are, what, 3 points, 3 or 4 points behind Red Bull for the third place in the constructors, as Ferrari is at the moment. So
okay,
great for that point. Now, is it just me, or does the entire track, at least last night, for okay, let's just keep even like Williams and Ferrari in mind, did it not feel like a fifth standard school fight?
What do you mean by that?
It felt like kids squabbling amongst each other. One kid who isn't part of the team anymore is trying to like show he's better than both of them. He's trying to battle it up till the last second.
Yeah.
Sainz jumped Hamilton's, by the way, in the last lap, and Hamilton had to like come out on a freaking panic frenzy to try and hold it. You know how much he covered? Sainz was 1.5 seconds behind him at turn 8 or turn 9. By the end of the lap, he was 0.3 seconds behind him. And he would have taken him had Hamilton not really gone elbows out and saved his spot as 8th. He was about to lose 8th place.
My God, I think Sainz watched that Verstappen taking Gasly last second wala race, and he was like,
inspired.
I can do it too.
I want to do it.
I can take the place of the man who stole my seat.
Very happy for Albon also on that one.
Albon did great. P5.
A lovely race and that's after having car issues. Huh? He had a water pressure issue somewhere in the car, and I think for about 16-17 laps they kept saying they had it, then finally they fixed it without ever going into the pit, which is like, okay, great, he managed to fix it with settings, but yep.
He went against team orders and he overtook Sainz, but I mean, he made it work.
Yeah,
he made it work.
He pushed past like most people that were in his path at that point. Was he behind Max on you? P5,
Kimi, Russell, before when he I know he overtook Russell,
Right,
and I think he was chasing Kimmy, and then the whole safety car situation
right,
happened,
right.
and then he came out behind Kimmy again,
Yeah,
something. But he overtook Kimmy, I think, once
right,
or twice.
right.
So Williams chasing down a Mercedes, making it work, keeping that
Yeah,
position,
yeah.
all of that is great stuff.
I think James Wall is really turning that team around. Yeah.
Yes, and you can't speak about this race without speaking about Max Verstappen, the king of defense. I mean, what a race!
But he give the title up now.
Too.
King of defense. Where he defended last
No,
night.
but come on, for like lap after lap after lap, he kept Piastri for a long time.
He kept Piastri for 1.5 lap. At which point Piastri realized exactly what to do. And the masterfulness, like I could see the smugness on Piastri's face through his fucking helmet when he locked up. When Max finally locked up at turn one, and he's just like, boom. He's turned off, taken the inside line, and just gone away.
I still feel it was a great, like maybe it felt like a few laps. Like I don't know, because I was at the edge of my seat.
I think overall Verstappen's fight with both McLarens was close to like 4 or 5 laps at least he held.
Norris felt like it was never ending. Like I was like, yeah.
Norris not at the end.
Yeah, he just
can't go ahead.
He can't make the lunges. He can't take like a defensive step. But you know the fact that it was very clear the McLarens are in a different league yesterday.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So for him to still hold off, and like it felt as a viewer, I was like, oh my god, like it. He's not giving it easy.
Oh, definitely.
He's making them work for it. Like corner after corner, they had to keep trying.
Yeah.
Piastri was like 0.2 seconds behind him or something, like for so long it felt like. Then he had a lock up too.
Yeah.
It's just, I was like, I swear all the sleep went out of the window. I was just like, oh my god, what's going on?
It was insane. Like even as a start, very, very cool. Like so many things happening, so many lunges done off. Yeah. Very good start, I would say, for most people.
Except Kimmy.
Kimmy's learning.
And Norris, he went back to P6 in the beginning.
And then he came back up. But then again, no front runners ever won Miami apparently. So that's another stats that makes it very interesting for me to like understand. Ooh, okay, you won pole, great. Now die. You're not gonna win the race.
Yeah, should we talk about how lucky Norris got with the safety car in the sprint? Because again, like last year he won the race. I mean, he could have won it without also maybe, but he got lucky.
He got lucky with the safety car, yeah.
This time in the sprint, he got lucky with the safety car. And apparently, I don't know if this is just like a meme or a rumor, but apparently Oscar radioed in saying, I'm never gambling in Miami. And just after that, Norris radioed in saying, I should go gambling in Miami.
Ain't that such a beautiful spectrum within one team? I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Because Norris does have some safety car luck.
Yeah, he really does.
It just didn't work out in the main race.
But I think Miami specifically had quite a few. Yesterday especially, and like this weekend, we've seen a lot more safety cars than we've seen over all the weekends combined.
Yeah, all the rookies except Isaac Hajar
and Kimmy. Yeah.
Were gone.
They were literally the only people who didn't like finish the race were the 4 rookies.
I think Alonso also spun out, right? But he finished.
Spun out, but he finished. That was so like, no wonder these kids call him a rookie. Like that's all I'll say is no wonder these kids also call him a rookie, because it just made sense yesterday when he went lazy driving and spun off on his track. You know the funnier thing that I realized at that point, he still managed to come out ahead of Lawson. At that point, Lawson was still racing.
My God.
And he spun out. He's like trying to get himself centered on track, and Lawson's still catching up.
Lawson and Doohan's crash was so annoying because Doohan had qualified P12, I think, and it could have been a good race for him. It could. See, okay, all the rumor mills are saying he's out in Imola, which is what, 3 races to go. I think it's closed. No, Imola's closed.
I want to check this. Just bravo. It's on the 16th.
So the next race is Imola? Oh my God. So this could have been Doohan's last race.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
That's what I was
God.
wondering, because now we'll switch off. Now, yeah, we've got Monaco the weekend after that. And then we've got Spain. That's our triple header that we'll be walking into.
Oh,
Yeah, we have another triple header coming.
But so
With the week's gap.
Doohan's last race was a DNF. Essentially, if we
His-
believe the rumors.
Let's put it in F1 terms. His what's the word I'm looking for? His provisional last race.
That's a good one. But yeah, I think the whole rumor started with, I think, call up into sponsors.
Yeah, it's so funny. The guy thought he was talking off the record, and clearly he was not. Poor guy told a whole room full of media people.
But what if Flavio was like, I can't have it break like this now, just to prove him wrong, I will not put call up into an Imola.
You do realize we're talking about Flavio out here. Flavio is the kind of person who probably paid that guy saying, listen, I'll give you 15% off your sponsorship. Just leak
But
it.
yeah,
you
do
can
this.
do it. You're
Yeah.
not part of it. You won't get scrutinized.
Yeah.
You're just a sponsor. I'll get scrutinized. How?
Oh yeah, if that's true, I feel bad for Doohan, but we all knew it was coming. So.
At this point, feeling bad is a matter of perspective. Because this year, we've seen the edge of the brutal sword with Lawson. We've seen the edge of the brutal sword with... Actually, yeah, with Lawson, to be very honest. I'm trying to think of who else got it bad, but nobody got as bad as
Not
Lawson.
as bad. I mean, last year it was kind of science, but
Yeah, the way like he didn't get his Ferrari seat. That's true. But then only 2 seats in a team.
Yeah. What was then your favorite moment, and what was your fail moment from the race?
My favorite moment, actually, should I have written this down? But I'm forgetting right now. But I'll go with my gut. My favorite moment of the entire race has to actually be the push that these Williams drivers did on the same turn. Both drivers have gained 1 position each on the exact same turn. It was like so synced to watch it.
Yeah.
And
they both took the Ferraris, right?
No. One took Kimi and the other one took Leclerc.
Yeah. That was fun to watch.
Just like, what?
And
so good.
Your
so
fail
good.
then? I mean,
my fail was very evident. I've spoken about it more than half this episode. Boys in red. Get a shit out at home. I'm putting it onto the track.
Don't do that.
It's not worth it. You guys are better than that. The team's better than that.
That's true. I mean, that was also my fail. But if I have to say a different one, my fail was the rain that never came.
So now we're failing rain and weather?
Yeah, the rain gods, like, they were like, the rain's coming, lap 17, the whole race. This rain never.
It did actually, but it drizzled.
It didn't change anything. Because honestly, the first half of the race was so crazy. And the second half started to get a little boring.
Yeah.
And I was like, the rain will come. It'll change.
Yeah,
everything.
even I was expecting it. Nothing.
Fail.
Fair enough. What's your fave moment though?
I think it was the driver's parade in the Lego cars.
I knew we were allowed to use that moment.
Of course we are.
God damn it.
We can have the same fave.
Yeah.
Because I was not watching it, you told me about it.
Yeah.
And then I like watched it after it was over. And I was like, this is comedy gold. They are in Lego cars trying to race.
Funny. It was so fun. And to be very honest, like I had just put on the entire F1 car channel on just as white noise, because at that point it was still 11:30, 12, not even.
So just trying to stay awake.
Yeah, I was just like, keep get into the zone and like stay into the race zone and all of that. Let's not watch Netflix and chill. It's like you can do something normal for once. I was listening, and suddenly I'm like,
what?
They're in cars. They look like F1 cars. And of course, I thought they were floaties. And I heard the word Lego. And my mind went firing at that moment. I was like, this is so cool. And then I saw them going around banging into each other. And Max trying to push that
Yeah.
car to its limits. I'm like, bro, it probably had an electric motor in it. It's making it go the
Yeah.
2 miles per hour that you're driving.
Whichever marketing genius decided
This,
to even put two drivers together in one car,
Mhm.
that was great, because like you never see that,
Yeah, yeah.
and I want to know who decided and how it was decided who will drive and who will sit at the back.
I think that was just a driver's choice, huh? Because Hammy didn't drive.
Yeah.
Max drove.
Yeah.
I think Albon drove.
I don't know. I was just watching and I was like, how did they decide this? Who will take
I think
charge?
that was coin flip between the drivers. Like it has to be, or they're just like,
Yeah.
we get off midway.
Yeah, we'll switch. No, it was genuinely my favorite moment because I think I have not seen the Ferrari boys just happy the whole season. Charles was actually smiling, and a smile that reached his eyes. Like, it's rare.
I'm going to say this once again. This is specifically for you. These people know it. Men and Lego. just I have a whole episode where I've ended with the biggest smile, eye to eye.
Yeah.
Because of a tiny 500-piece Lego. That was a full-sized one. I can only imagine the amount of like happiness that just comes from sitting inside it.
Yeah.
Or like standing around it.
And like, when it's a Lego car, your engineers can't really mess up. So that might have made
There's
like
no strategy in play.
no plan A, B, C, D, E. There was just go, which made Leclerc really happy. Yeah. And then Ollie and Ocon, I think, missed the start and they were cutting all the corners trying to get there. I was like, these men have really become boys seeing the Lego.
Yeah. But Ollie and Ocon have been doing these kind of things for a while. They have this RC car challenge also that they both have done, where Ollie has just turned the car and kept flipping it around. He couldn't even like drive it in a straight route. He's just, every time he's tried to go straight, the car's like zooming off and doing donuts, or it's like falling off onto the side of the track.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Ollie really can't drive RC car.
Oh god, I can't believe Miami is over. Lando Norris did not win the race that changed his life last year.
Mm-hmm.
But Oscar Piastri did, and yeah, I think we're in the Oscar Piastri era
at the moment. Yeah.
And if he keeps driving,
by the way, there's another little piece of stat on this. Within the hybrid era, that's been around since, I'm not too sure exactly how long now, but since Nico Rosberg's time, basically. Nico Rosberg had like Mercedes. Hamilton, Rosberg, Max, and Piastri are the only ones to win consecutive races.
Wow. Piastri's keeping good company of world champions.
Yeah.
So if that says anything about who might get Drivers' Championship this year.
Yep. Another interesting stat, we can't forget this one.
Okay.
Youngest pole sitter.
Oh,
guys.
yes! Gimme.
By 2.5 years, the boy has taken on Sebastian Vettel's record.
Yeah.
We wanted him to be the youngest race winner, but I'll take pole sitter. I'll take it. I'll take it for sure.
So cute after like the race finished. Toto being like, doesn't matter. This was not even a race.
So, what do you call it? Very specifically, like when I remember when he wasn't winning the sprint, I think he had to give up that position in the start. And Toto just went like, Gimme, it does not matter. It's a mini race.
He's such a protective father because it's really funny. Before the race started, in all the interviews, it's like, it's not about it being a sprint. He is taken pole and he was just like baracharing the sprint.
Yeah. He went to the extent of saying this is only the beginning. Kimi knows other tracks better in the coming weeks. We will see him roar, bro.
Roar? Okay.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Also, the sprint press conferences, I think, had Toto and George speaking really nice things about Hamilton. Yeah. Hamilton speaking really nice things about them. I was like, wow,
no love lost there, clearly. And on the other end, loads of love has been lost.
Yeah. I want to see this Hamilton-Ferrari relationship become better because honestly, it was such an iconic move. And now it's just depressing. Like, he just seems sad. He's having these very sarcastic fights online, on the radio.
Can I just like take you through a little history lesson. It's done before. When it was him and Rosberg at Merck, and when Rosberg finally started to like get tired of Lewis's then shit, it has been fired to the point where Rosberg has straight up almost pulled his earpiece out of his ear and said, "I'll do this myself. Y'all want to favor him, now y'all keep favoring him. I'm doing what I want to do." And he's won that race. He's defied everybody, including the entirety of Mercedes, which is no wonder he doesn't drive F1 anymore.
And why there's so much tension if he ever interviews.
He hates Hamilton. He hates Hamilton to the point where if he's doing post-race interviews and Hamilton turns out to be on the podium, you will suddenly see Romain Grosjean taking over the interviews. It is as simple as that.
So in this break week, Leclerc's going to be having dinner with Rosberg, probably getting some tips.
I hope instead he goes to Valtteri and just like figures things out. I don't mean like become second driver kind of thing, but at least like understand Lewis is a man and a driver. Maybe that will help you get somewhere with him.
Maybe they should have like a couples retreat where they play some chess and
therapy will also
couples
wonders for them.
So yes, break week coming up. We will be coming up with something exciting. Again, we will rack our brains.
Yep.
If you have any suggestions, you can DM us on Instagram, leave a comment on YouTube. Yeah. And we will try and do that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all for today.
See you guys.
Bye.